Hello and welcome to Gaia GPS. I am Mimi and I am here with Maya Kana.
Hello.
This is where we pull cards for the astro shifts in the week ahead. And wow, we have some shifts going on. We're just starting off with September. Welcome to September. Just starting with one card. And of course, one card turned into two for me. So what happened was I was like, well, I'm going to use a different deck to pull the one card. And at first, I was like thinking, I'm going to use my animal deck. But then I saw the 13 moon. I'm like, oh, I'm really missing the 13 moon cards. And right as I pulled the 13 moon card, I was like, no, inner child card. Welcome to me as having a strong amount of Libra in my chart. Libra and Gemini. It's hard to choose just one. But when I pulled the inner child card, because I was like, no, I'm just not going to do this one. Like, I'm just going to forget about that. I was like, oh my God, the card's the same essence. Two totally different things, but the same essence. The essence of change. And that is what I have. Let's start with 13 moon. I have the creator, destroyer, change, transformation, dismantle, catalyst, completion. Now, the thing about September is we do have, especially this week, this is a very shifty week, but we still are working with the energies of the eclipse, especially potent this week. And so this is part of what the eclipse energy brought us, that we're still putting into change. This card talks about conscious participation in your change. Change is going to happen, but this is saying be conscious in and through this change. There is stuck energies, these old things that the eclipse brought up, that are needing to be transformed through intentional dismantling. And so it's very important to work with the energy of change through September. And like I said, that's mimicked in my other card. I do want to read the last line of my wisdom. I started highlighting these things because it's so much good stuff in here. And it says, it talks about love and that eclipse at 28 Leo, in Leo, the sign of the heart, all love. Stop trying to force love to look a certain way. You'll find it flooding in everything in your experience. Step fully onto the fluid bridge of unconditional love and choose to remain on it as it dissolves whatever appears presently not to be love. This is the energy to invoke behind the change, to allow this to help you shift. And then, like I said, this card, when I looked at it, I was like, oh my God, it's the Four of Swords, which is about using mental facility to create a new foundation. But this card, it says, this card, inner truth, is represented by the stream, accompanied by the desire to understand freedom. The raft emerges from these watery depths of the past. And a hope for higher knowledge is seen in the distance. But that's not the thing. Where was it where it talked about change? Oh, open to the currents of sudden change and new direction. So again, here's this message of change. But what it says is like, keep following your flow. Go down the river. Seek the knowledge. Let the knowledge come through. And I love this part. Fishing is a relaxing activity. Floating down the stream on the raft. Float through this. Float on this bridge of unconditional love. Float on the knowledge of love and let that take you through. Do not rush this process. Deepen your knowledge. Drop deeper into this. And then anticipate a big catch. I really like that part. Be at peace as you enter the waters of deep change and initiation. So, September, change energy. The change is not stopping, but utilizing this energy of Virgo, the focus, the consciousness, the strong mental energy, bring that with you as you work with this change through this month. Maya?
Yes, so September, really when I started to tap into it, it feels like a big push forward. So we've been kind of all going around and around and around here for the past couple of months, really going over and over again the same lessons to figure out what we really value. And now in September, it's an opportunity where we have a lot of forward moving energy for the first time in a while, an opportunity to start to take action on some of these things that we have discovered we truly value in our heart, because that's what the eclipse was about in a lot of ways, was figuring out what we really do want and what we really do value. The card that I got to represent September is card number 8 here, which is the balance card. Now, many of us have been learning to tap into the wisdom of our heart. And to really figure out sort of what we're feeling, what we're sensing, and to get really, really clear on our inner world. A lot of people have really been working on that. This card now calls us to merge our inner masculine and feminine energies and to find that real critical point of balance where we are able to not only sense what's true in our heart and what we really want and what we really desire, but to be able to now blend that with the masculine energy of taking action. So this calls us to stay in balance, to balance between our time of action and building and our time of rest, to balance between listening and receiving, to balance between our divine masculine and our divine feminine, and to sit in that energy of wholeness throughout the month. And that really is where the magic lies. If you are in a place of just stillness and just listening and receptivity only, you'll never get anything done in this world. And yet, if you are in a place of just building and taking action all of the time and being like really logical, you'll get a lot done, but perhaps none of it will be in alignment with your soul's highest path. So in September, we're being called to balance those two parts of ourselves and to take action that is in alignment with our truest heart and soul desires. So that's my card for the month ahead.
I love that. And I love how that leads into our first transits that we're getting into. So we have so many transits this week that we've actually combined a few. So the next thing we're talking about is the moon shifting into Aquarius. The moon is shifting into Aquarius tomorrow, Saturday, September 2nd. We also have the Mars, Mercury, Uranus convergence. I've been talking about it like that all this week. So we have Mars and Mercury coming together at the same point that we had the eclipse at, that solar eclipse, 28 degrees. I will remind you, don't worry about a thing because every little thing is going to be okay. That's the three little birds with this energy. We have Uranus in Aries trining this energy. A trine is helpful energy. So Uranus is feeding into this. This overall is very vibrational and is heating up major electrical, major mental, but yet heart-strong energy, that Leo stuff that is heart-strong. But the moon in Aquarius brings that electrical vibration, as does Uranus. Now, what's very interesting is that, once again, I have the change card. This is the Wheel of Fortune in traditional tarot. So the Wheel of Fortune is like, sometimes things go up, sometimes things go down. I think we had the Tower with the eclipse. I think we had the phew part of the Wheel of Fortune. And now I do believe we are on the upswing. Here comes success. So utilize the powerful vibrational energy of this to achieve your success, abundance, which, let me, by the way, remind you that this card is a card of balance, like Maya was talking about, balance. This is balancing your spiritual and your physical. So it's like, you know, you have to show up for the physical in order to fully utilize this energy, and you have to show up for the spiritual in the spiritual to fully utilize this energy. You have to bring your mental side to this. Be in alignment in your mind. Don't let your mind, you know, go run away with your monkey. Bring that monkey back. Come on back, monkey. But tie it to the heart. Let your heart go with it. Let them be in communion, in balance, in and through this energy. There is so much heart that is breaking through at this time. There is so much heart that is feeding into our vibrations at this time. There's so much heart, which is the leading edge of change that we want to be on at this time. We need to create the change with love. We need to work the change with love to help it shift to the kind of world that we want this to be in. So this is very powerful. Moon in Aquarius is very strong vibrationally, and it is very affected by your mental energy. And your mental energy is being very affected by this Mars, Mercury, Uranus energy. Now, what I want to not caution you about, but caution you about, because I don't know a better word to use, ask you to be vigilant about, is, you know, Mars. Mars has those two sides, and there is passion and there is aggression. And that aggression, if that's coming up, that anger, that passivity, yes, it is going to move you, and maybe you need that to move you. But I implore you, I like these words that are coming forward, I implore you to focus on your passion and let it be your passion that moves you rather than your aggression, rather than that suppression. Let it be your love that moves you rather than your hate, not the hate of something else, the love, because these vibrations are very strong and very powerful. What kind of vibrations do you want to take you into the success? I want love to take me there. Like, that's what I'm all about. To finish up, I have Freya, bold. Lots of animals in these cards. She's there with her bobcat. Unleash your adventurous side. Take risks, be daring. There's that Mars. Roar, lion of the heart, and tear me open. Be bold. Be bold is love. I love that song. Be bold is love in and through this energy. And I also have, from the Wisdom of the Hidden Realms, I have the Horse King, which is assistance and control. And what I love is, you know, we're riding these animals. What energy are you riding? What energy are you asking? What vibration are you asking to assist you as we move through this energy, as we build into this full moon, as we finish up this Mercury retrograde? You can call upon an energy. I want love to carry me there. I want love to carry me into my success. I want love to carry me into this change. I want to be on the leading edge of love. That's my choice. You get to choose too, but ask for the vibration that you want to assist you to help you move in and through this, because, wow, the things are very powerful right now, and you're very powerful with what energies you're putting out right now. Choose wisely. Choose in alignment. Choose in accordance with you, your highest self, and your heart. Maya?
Yes. Oh my gosh. So Moon into Aquarius and Mercury conjunct Mars trine Uranus. To me, both of these transits are about our mind and the ability to manifest societal change based on what our vibration is and what is in our mind. So I know some people are kind of sick of hearing about it, but the first card I have today is the Love Matters card. It really does matter. Like, that is what this whole entire summer has been about. The entire summer has been about showing us the power of love and showing us the transformational power of self-love and seeing society through a lens of love. Hold on to that, because those are very important eclipse lessons. And this is like a time where some of us may be getting sort of, if you think of the eclipse as kind of a series of actions or reactions, this transit on Saturday is part of that series. So some of us may be getting, you know, follow-up messages related to what happened during the August 21st eclipse, or we may have surprises coming in. View whatever comes to you, whether it be a new idea, it could be a burst of inspiration with this transit. View it through a lens of love. I did get the Cleanse and Detoxify card for this transit. This could partially be related to the high Virgo energies on the planet at this time. For some of us, it is a cleansing and a detoxification of our body. If you are feeling guided to do something like that, now is a great time. For many of us, though, this is a cleansing and detoxification of our mind. And it's like Spirit is basically saying, okay, listen, it's time to, we all know, like, if we think positively, that our reality shifts around us to become more positive and more uplifting. But how many of us are actually doing it? Like, how many of us have actually cleansed our minds of those negative thought patterns or those stress-inducing thought patterns? If you're still seeing a lot of conflict and a lot of resistance in the reality around you, it may be a further invitation to really cleanse and detoxify your life. It could be of people or circumstances that are weighing you down, or simply of your thoughts. I also got the happiness card here from the Divine Guidance deck. And this card basically says, when you shift into a space of greater happiness, those around you will thank you. And this says Spirit is trying to usher in for us with this transit a time of greater happiness. But the only way that this can happen, and this makes sense, like the only way that this can happen in our lives, that we can have our lives filled with more happiness and more joy, which this transit should bring in more of that after a time of a lot of heaviness, is if we actually allow the happiness to flow through us. So it's very, very important that in our mind, we don't judge our own happiness. Listen, like, you really don't need a reason to feel good, actually. You don't need to. Like, if you start feeling good, like the energy shifts and you start feeling good, just accept that. Just accept that you have happiness coming in, and know that that is going to be your happiness, your joy is going to hold space for the transformation of those around you. I did get as well the Imagine card, and Aquarius is very expansive. Aquarius is very inventive. Aquarius is able to imagine new and unique ways that our life can turn out, or unique solutions to societal change. Be in a space of imagination. Let your imagination uplift you and uplift your life. I think that's a really great way to kind of walk through this transit on Saturday.
Beautiful. I love that. I think that's gonna be kind of a theme through this week. I'm getting a bit of that for our next transit. So our next transit is the moon shifting into Pisces. It's shifting like 10:28 p.m. Pacific time on Monday evening. Moon shifting into Pisces is preparing us for the full moon, but we're gonna get into the full moon after we have a few more transits in the middle. But I love this message, what I got. Okay, starting with this. Trust your guidance. Pisces is such a strong intuitive sign. This full moon that we're building into is almost exactly conjunct Neptune energy. So it's very strong intuition, very strong spiritual energy that's guiding us through at this time. But like Maya was saying, like, where are you focusing your mind? I have the Thunderbolt card in reverse. And it's funny because I keep pulling in my daily readings this Thunderbolt card in reverse. And it's like the worst has happened, and yet I feel like some of us are waiting for the other shoe to drop. Stop focusing on that energy. Instead, focus on what you are creating. This energy is very creative. And the thing about a full moon is the sun energy is anchored in Virgo. So this the sign of earth, this sign that can bring physical manifestation, and yet we have this mystical quality of creation and imagination happening over here in Pisces. What do you want to bring in to the physical energy? You are creating right now as you honor that guidance. Don't keep thinking about these things. And if this stuff keeps coming up for you like over and over, then get it out. Write it, process it, speak it to somebody so that you're not continually ruminating with it in your mind. There's very strong mental energy going on currently. And that's how I've been working with myself. Anytime I have something that's coming up and just playing over, I'm like, oh, gotta go write that down. I've even got my notebook sitting right here that I keep just, okay, gotta write it in the notebook, gotta write it in the notebook, because I don't want to sit and be ruminating in that energy. Because when I do, that energy is like pulling me down off my cloud. Like, get off of my cloud energy. I am going to be here. This is not serving me anymore. Let go of the stuff. That you don't have to worry about what's going to happen. You have to trust what you're creating. You have to trust your guidance in and through this. Now it's funny because as Maya was talking and I'm looking at these cards for like the next transit, I'm looking at my goddess card, which is Isol, undying love, and says the love you have shared is eternal regardless of the situation. There is a strong love energy. And when I combine love with Pisces, the song One Love by Bob Marley came into my head. One love, I'm not going to sing. One heart, let's get together and feel all right. Okay, so that kept playing in my head, you know, as I'm listening to Maya's wisdom come through about this previous transit. And I was like, what else is in here besides undying love? Because I know a lot of us think about this as relationships. One of the things that feels so pertinent in here is like other various meanings. The love that you send into the world is an important part of your divine purpose. The love that you're sending into the world is an important part of your creativity. And this is divine guidance, right here, divine guidance that is asking you to create this. Create this at this time with your mind by leaving behind these fears, leaving behind what did happen, what did go wrong, and rather focusing on this energy of love. And then speaking of help, I have the Eagle King, the big picture, angelic help, calling on angelic help. There seems to be a theme of help through this week. And one of the things that I love that it says is the Eagle King soars on high and takes your prayers up toward the sun and releases them to the divine. They will be answered for the highest good of all. This is taking you into your divine destiny. This is very powerful. So with this powerful energy, what do you want to be focusing on? Do you want to be focusing on the creation of love, or do you want to be stuck in the old thunderbolts? We all have the thunderbolts. We all have those times, those cringe moments, did that really just happen? Oh my God, that just really happened things. Get that energy out and then keep purposely turning yourself into love, because wow, this energy is powerful right now, and it is doing things and it is changing things. Maya?
Okay, so Monday, moon moving into Pisces, opposite of the sun in Virgo. I have to tell you all, this right here, this is my life story. Balancing the Virgo and the Pisces energy. This is what I focus on every day. And it's not always easy, okay? It's not always the most easy thing in the world to do. But where I think you can really find the balance is taking the time away to tune in and waiting until you get that clarity on your next steps, and then taking action on what you get. So for some of us earlier this week, for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday with the moon in Pisces, we've got to go within. We've got to really go within and trust what is coming through to us. In the US, we have Labor Day on Monday. So a lot of people are actually going to have this day off. And if you're able to, it might be a good day to sort of slow down and tune into your unique guidance, not necessarily tuning into all the sort of rigmarole and all the information, but tuning into your unique guidance on Monday. The first card that I got today is Catch Your Breath. Catch your breath, you guys. There's a this is a very, very intense, energetic time. Like, we can feel pulled in all these different directions with all these different ideas and a lot of confusion. Catch your breath. We need to take this time to rest and to rejuvenate before the full moon on Wednesday. So take a little bit of a moment to catch up. Actually, what's interesting is so many of us are doing all this work within ourselves, and we're having all these discoveries, just constant, really, especially since the eclipse, just all this uncovering of new layers of our personal truth. And we need to take time to actually assess what has actually happened, you know, since the eclipse, or what has actually happened this summer. What are the shifts? What are the realizations that we've had? We've got to take a moment and understand who we are now. For some people, we haven't taken this moment to really assess. So I would encourage people to do that Monday and Tuesday. I got two other very, very interesting cards. The first one I'll share here, again, from the Divine Guidance deck, is the Advancements card. This is a very auspicious card that suggests that we are going to be faced with choices this week. That there's Mimi's making me laugh about all my choices. Okay, you might be facing choices. That's
why I laughed. I was like, did she just aim that at me?
No choice. Oh, Mimi and I, we both have some big choices that we have to make right now. And it's real. Like, Mimi was talking about divine destiny. Well, let me just tell you, like, the destiny is at play now. And people, the changes have been ushered in. The eclipse ushered in the energy of changes. But now they're trickling down into our actual lives, and we're having to make some decisions, okay? So here's what the card says. It says, this is a time of change for you in the physical realm, okay? We've been ushering in all the etheric changes, and people are like, when's it gonna be real? Well, listen, okay, now it is. Okay, this is a time of change for you in the physical realm, and it may involve making some big decisions, whether it pertains to changing jobs, making a career choice, beginning or ending a relationship, or moving to a new home. You have some choices you need to make. Trust yourself to make the right choice. Your guides are working with you to help you gain clarity and to move forward in your life. Stay true to yourself and follow your heart's calling. These changes are definitely for the better, both physically and spiritually. So don't resist making the changes. This is a time to actually follow and make the changes that we're guided to make in the 3D world. But we do need to ask ourselves, why am I doing this? Why am I making these changes? Know your motivations. Use this Pisces time to get back in touch with your big picture vision of your life and to get in tune with what your real motivations are. It says there's a great power in understanding your motives right now. The oracle asks you to be very clear about why you're asking this question. Why are you looking for an answer right now? Why are you behaving the way that you are? And most importantly, why are you making the choices that you are? Knowing your why is the key to fulfillment. When you are clear about it and your intention to be a magnet for miracles, motives define the nature of your experience. When you think about something, feel it, and then act on it. This invisible why is a life force energy within the seed, which brings it to life and holds the potential for growth. So this card basically outlined exactly how to work with the Virgo and Pisces combined. It basically says, think about something that you want, visualize it, then feel it really deeply within yourself and then act on it. That's our recipe for success for the week ahead.
Excellent. It did address the Virgo Pisces. I love, you've got the Virgo Pisces and I've got the Sagittarius Gemini. So between the two of us, we have the mutables, all sides of the mutables covered. So there we go. It's an interesting dynamic to have in your chart, to have that opposition, because they are similar, and yet there is always finding that balance, and it always is a balancing process. But thankfully, my Leo just takes the lead. It's like, I'll just take over. Like, I'll just do it this way. So, yay, Leo. All right, so our next transit is Mars and Mercury. So Mars is moving into Virgo Tuesday morning. It is actually happening at 2:35 a.m. And Mercury is going direct at 4:29 a.m. on Tuesday. So Mercury is going direct in Leo. It is going direct at 28 degrees. This eclipse degree here, it still is working this process. So this eclipse has really expanded itself. It brought so much, and it's just like, hey, there's more. Hey, there's more. Hey, there's more. So we are still going to be uncovering as Mercury goes direct. It takes some time. Mercury will be moving into Virgo. I believe it's the 9th. Let's see. Yes, it is the 9th. So we still will have a few days of this. But so we're working with Mars in Virgo and then Mercury now direct in Leo. And I'm going to start with these two cards. All right. I have the transformation card. And this to me is like this theme of change. Change, transformation is happening as we intentionally dismantle these things, stop working with these things that no longer work. However, there is still rebirth process that is coming as Mercury will begin its forward motion again and then charge forward like the lion. So it's not going to just be, Tuesday you wake up like, oh my God, I feel the change. Although you definitely might, because I definitely do feel the change when Mercury goes direct. But it's like, it's just not all there yet. This transformation is still underway. This death rebirth cycle that has come through these cycles is still happening. Now, what I think is important is, again, another theme of this week, being very vigilant with your mind. With Mars moving into Virgo, we definitely have some strong Virgo energies at play. Virgo energy can be very mental. It can get very critical. I love what my theme has been this Virgo season, which is the theme of wholeness and letting that be our guide into holiness, into healing. Let that be your focus. But you may find yourself feeling a little bit off, especially as Mars makes this change, Mercury makes this change, we build into the full moon. I have the exhaustion card and the burden. And this burden is like, it's the cock on the head. And when your mind starts going, like that's what it's like. It's like, and I have this to say, and I have this to say. I had my windows open really early this morning because it's really hot here and it was very cool this morning. So I had them open, and there's a rooster who lives next door that I usually do not hear with my windows closed. And that rooster was like over and over and over. The rooster, like the mind, has so much to say. The rooster and the monkey have run away together. But stay vigilant, stay focused, stay on task. Take those lessons that we did learn. Ooh, here we have it. Take the lessons of joy, of playfulness that we learned with this strong Leo energy, the lessons of heart. Take those along with you as we move into this forward-moving mental focus energy with Mars into Virgo. And as we have Mercury direct in Leo, take your heart with you. Take the play. If you are feeling this, the burden, that exhaustion, yes, of course. Take the time that you need to relax, to chill out, because this is an ongoing process too. Like I said, the rebirth, that transformation, that can make us tired. I have been very tired lately because I've been going through it on crazy levels. So take that time, but please bring your joy with you. Don't leave behind your playfulness. Like, if you are going to be in bed, maybe put on a song and you will find me dancing in bed, or take your cats with you or something, to bring some joy with you to that thing. I have this card and I have it in reverse, and I'm like, I feel like don't leave your child behind. As we move forward into this wholeness with Mars, taking that passion into our wholeness, taking that passion into health, healing, and the passion even of having this focus that's so in alignment with yourself. Take this innocence with you. Do not leave it behind. Please don't leave it behind, because it's so important on this leading edge of love. To finish up, I have the word Lord, communication and praise. And, you know, to me, this just, it goes even further with that energy of focus. Actually feeling the words of gratitude. Let the words of gratitude be also how you're moving forward into this wholeness, taking that Leo heart with you, and let them help guide you into expecting a miracle, Mother Mary. So it's like, okay, we're getting through this thing, we're getting through this thing, we're getting through this thing, we're getting through this thing. Here comes this full moon. Expect a miracle, and let this be part of your focus. It says, have faith that your prayers have been heard and are being answered, and reach out and claim your miracle. Be like, yes, this is my miracle. Here it comes. Here it comes, baby. Let that be part of the words that you speak to the universe. Like, yeah, I accept. Like, come on. I'm ready for you. I'm ready for you. Like you're telling a little kitty, come here. You can come. I'm ready. So let that be part of the energy. And I think that requires playfulness. Like, be willing to play. I laugh when the universe like sends me a feather. Like, I've asked for something, like, give me a sign. I'm like, oh, you did it. There's my feather. Yes, play with the universe. The universe is very playful at its nature, and it likes when we play along with it. So, whew, yes, that is it for this transit. Maya?
The universe is very playful. Okay, so Mars into Virgo and Mercury direct, both of these are pretty long transits actually that are going on. So Mars into Virgo, I think it's going to be over 6 weeks, and Mercury will be direct until about Thanksgiving time. So overall, we have a long time to work with these energies. But I pulled some cards first to represent just Tuesday and how we should sort of walk through Tuesday. And I got like very feminine cards. I have actually the Yin card here. And I also have the receiving card. And this to me says, okay, we've learned our lessons. We've done our work, you know, whether we knew that we were doing it or not. Like during this Mercury retrograde period, we went back over some of the old themes. We learned the lessons again. And now when it comes to Tuesday morning, when we wake up, our task is to be in that receptive state and to know that whatever comes in, be it a realization or a shift, or maybe it's even, you know, nothing right away, but whatever it is, our job is to receive it with a very positive outlook and to be in that receptive state. So some of us wait like for a long time for Mercury to go direct, for example, and we're like, okay, woo, Mercury's direct, I'm gonna take action right now. Okay, maybe not, like maybe just give it like a couple days, give it a little bit of time, continue to be in that receiving and learning state as we go through Tuesday. By a week from Tuesday or so, then maybe okay, we're a little bit more free and clear to start to take action a little bit more. Mars into Virgo, I think, is just what the world needs right now. Mars into Virgo is going to give us the actual motivation that we need to get the work done and to actually like put in a good month or a little over a month of work into moving forward on our dreams. So I think that that's going to be very, very good time for us to make the changes that we want to for self-improvement. Virgo is very good at that. So I think that'll be an auspicious placement. I do have some cards here that suggest that Tuesday and these transits happening on Tuesday, it may affect people's relationships. So I think this is very good, actually. So I have the reconciliation card here, which says, someone from your past is returning into your life. Okay, so I work almost exclusively with relationships and divine partnerships as a psychic. And a lot of people, like, their divine partner disappeared during this Mercury retrograde. What in the world, you know? Okay, so we can all kind of calm down and we can just take a breath of fresh air and realize, like, okay, that was weird. Like, those things that happened in our relationships were weird. But now we may have some people from our past coming back that were maybe absent during the Mercury retrograde period. So be open for that and know that if somebody does come back, it's because they're meant to be with you during this next phase. I also got the Cupid card. See, this is good. This is a good card. This is a good time for relationships. So the Cupid card basically says like that the universe has heard through this time, this summer, heard our desire for true love and heard our clear decision to choose love, to choose our soul's highest partner. And those calls that we put out are going to be answered. So this is very, very good. Expect love. Like, realize that sometimes it takes a little bit of time to get everything aligned, but this is a real favorable time for our relationships. So yes, I think that it's very good for us to be in a space of receiving people back into our realities. And it might not just be lovers. Like, Cupid could be anyone you love. Like, it could be friends, or it could be anybody. Okay, I also got the Amplify Your Positive Emotions and Keep Your Dreams Alive card. Things got a little weird for some of us here throughout the past month or so. What in the world? Okay, don't even worry. Keep your dreams alive and amplify your positive emotions. Like, okay, we kind of have this feeling of like, whoa, what was that? Like, that weirdness that happened the past month. Like, whoa, okay, that was weird. But like, now I'm back on track. Like, now I'm back on track. I'm going to keep moving forward on my dreams. And that's what I would recommend. You know, take the lessons that you can from the past couple months, but know that we're back into like a little bit more of a forward moving energy time. And I did get the card, which is about being at home within ourselves. And we must be in this energy right now. Like, we must be at home within ourselves. So not everyone's going to understand you. Not everybody's going to approve of you or what your dreams are. A lot of people, even some people that like really love you, may really not get it, okay? But when we are at home within ourselves, none of that matters. When we are truly approving of ourselves and we're at home within ourselves, none of that matters. And we can confidently move forward without needing others to understand. So I would recommend that we all try to be very at home within our beings and be very embodied, have our souls very embodied Tuesday and Wednesday as we move into the full moon, which is what we're going to be talking about next. But yes, there's no place like home. Be at home within your body and within yourself.
Yay! That is very Virgo of you. Very good. All right, so full moon in Pisces. The full moon in Pisces is happening very early Wednesday morning. It is happening at 12:03 a.m. Pacific time. This full moon in Pisces is at 13 degrees, and we have Neptune at 12 degrees. So essentially, this full moon is conjunct Neptune. So, wow, pausas is what I was going to say. Pausas, pausas, okay? Like, this is very intense energy for sure, but it's intense on like this level. Like, my third eye is going wah, 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 with this energy. It's definitely very intense. You know, Pisces, let's talk about Pisces really quickly. Pisces is such a beautiful energy. It is the final sign of the zodiac, and Pisces does have that energy of oneness, but it can be very floaty. And I'm actually going to start with this card because I think this is important with this balance of Virgo energy. Boundaries, Ishtar, love yourself enough to say no to other demands on your time and energy. What I'm feeling with this boundaries card is that Maya said it earlier to me, and I've been feeling this too. It's been a very psychic week for me. It's been a very in-tune week. I've had past lives popping through with clients and all kinds of things this week. Our energetic fields are very affected. Our auric fields, our third eye, our crowns are very affected by this energy. Don't be afraid to put up some boundaries. Don't be afraid to say no. Maya said she's taking off on Wednesday. I'm proud of her for that. I usually do not work with full moons because I oftentimes want to spend that energy with myself, and I get full moon hangovers and I get a little wild and need to dance. Like, that's my way of saying no and choosing for myself. Be willing with this energy to set some boundaries, just knowing that the water energy of Pisces are like fog. It can just be like, I am just going to settle all over the place. And that's not what I feel like the wisdom of the cards is. I have the intensity card. I have the rebel card, breaking through these chains. I have the master card, and I have the arrow master card. So my feeling is that we do not, I think this is part of it too. I have the control card as well. We don't want these other energies that are not serving this highest vibration with this strong, very intuitive energy to be influencing us. And that's what I think the point of the boundaries is, because, wow, there are some major lessons coming through. The intensity, moving at the speed of light, moving at the speed of sound. We may get some of those big downloads from the eclipse coming through. Finally, that insight breaks through with this energy, bringing us into our next level of mastery, breaking us through some of these cords, these karmic energies, these chains that have held us with this. The interesting thing with this is that Neptune is retrograde. So Neptune retrograde is taking us into some of these karmic energies, some of these past life energies, some of these ancestral energies. And here we see it broken. As we honor by arrowing ourselves into our light, committing to our personal master path. We are all not all masters of, you know, everything. Like, not everybody's an M&M master or a Skittles master, but I am a Mimi master. I am the master of Mimi. So this is like your commitment to your light, your commitment to your personal mastery, your commitment to breaking through these things that have held you back from taking this authority. This is the Emperor card. So it's like, no, I have this authority. I am this master in my life. I don't love the control card usually, but I actually feel this very much serves in this, and I think it goes hand in hand with the boundaries card. This is the King of Swords. So the King of Swords is very, I can't get the word. Starts with a D, meaning he's very picky, but it's not that word. Discerning, very discerning. There we go. Thank you, Maya. Beamed it into my head before you said it. He's very discerning about what he is going to focus his mind on. If you see here, he has this white beam of light going from his mind. So you can be in this thing like this, or you can focus. The power of your mind, the power of your third eye, the power of your intuition in and through this. Staying with the light, keeping that focus on yourself as the master, mastering yourself, mastering this life, mastering this lesson, mastering whatever these chains have been that you have the potential to break through and leave behind in this energy. It's like, bye-bye, no more. 13-degree energy is the energy of revolution, evolution. It's revolution, evolution energy with this full moon. Holy powerful, Batman. Like, and the Sabian symbol, I was telling Maya before this, I love the Sabian symbol for 13 degrees Pisces. It's an ancient sword used in many battles displayed in a museum. And it says, the first line is this: willpower is the ultimate spiritual weapon. The power of your will, the power of your mind connected to your will. But I also take it as the power of the sword and the stone. He was able to pull, in the story, the sword out of the stone because it was his destiny. So it's like committing to the sword that is your destiny to help you break through those chains once and for all so that you can move forward in this revolution, evolution energy. So, I mean, I feel it's very powerful. Now, let me just say, behind all this, that it is Pisces, which is more of a floating energy. And if we remember, you know, the picture of the raft, it may not feel as enthusiastic as I feel about this trans. I'm just very excited. I love these cards. I'm like, yes, yes, this. However, it may be maybe a little bit more quiet than me. It may be a little bit more subtle than this card looks. But what I want to remind, it may be as subtle, actually, this is a card that I haven't used yet. It may be as subtle as the growing of this tree. You know, like the touching of the tree, the essence of light, that essence of nature that comes upon us. It may be as subtle as that, but I do want you to be vigilant about maintaining your focus and working with this energy. You know, I do feel, it's interesting. I don't usually feel like full moons are so much about manifestation. I feel that new moons are more about like planting those seeds, manifesting. Full moons, I do feel more like harvest, but a lot of times full moons, I do feel they're especially about like bringing up energies that need to be processed. And I definitely think that's happening as we're breaking through these chains. I definitely think there's some things being brought up and processed, but I do feel like there's going to be harvest. And I do feel there is an essence that we want to stick to of manifestation in and through this moon, like keeping your eye on the prize, the arrow master. And that's where we're finishing up, hitting the mark, intention, and then detachment. And so it says, you know, take that aim, take aim at what you want, just like that intensity card as well. Deliberately focusing on your dreams and desires with intention, align your intention with spirit, then let it fly on the wind, directed by the divine until it reaches your goal. The only way to hit the target is to allow the arrow of your intention to fly unencumbered by your eagerness and see it travel exactly the way you want it to go. So it's like Let that arrow go. Keep your eye on the prize, just like with golf. Not that I golf, but like you focus on where that thing's going. You don't focus on the club. You focus on where the ball's going. So let that arrow fly in and through this energy and trust the divine is working for you, because you have been working this week in aligning your energies, aligning your vibrations, and aligning your intentions with this. It feels very powerful, but I'm going back just to finish up this first message. Set those boundaries so that you're not being influenced in this highly energetic, intuitive time by other people's things, and practice that discernment. You know, I get very enthusiastic and excited about things in my life, and I'm like, I'm gonna tell everybody, ah! And then, you know, a word from them, and it's like, swish, swish the dream. And I have to practice that very much, that art of discernment, so that I don't go around having my dreams squish, because it's hard. It's hard for a Sagittarius. It's hard for anybody, but it's hard for a Sagittarius to have their dreams squished. And so practice those boundaries and the discernment, and at least get excited with it, with yourself. But if you have like a crowd that you can share with, absolutely do. But notice the boundaries that you do need to keep in and through this, and honor them, and realize it's there for a while. It's like you don't want to invite a windstorm while you're playing archery, when you're shooting arrows. So don't invite the windstorm in at this time. Let the arrow shoot, and then you can tell people about it once the arrow has hit its mark. Maya?
Oh, well, we're in Pisces, 13 degrees. I know a lot about this energy because this is my moon, exact placement of my own moon. And also moon conjunct Neptune. So let me just tell you, because I've been dealing with this for a couple months now. Really, really, really want to pay attention to your dreams and your subconscious mind. Now, of course, we can all do whatever we want, but I would recommend that this is a day where we spend a little bit more time in meditation, maybe say no to going out after work and go home instead, and really create like a nice meditative space if you can at any time during the day, and really tune in, because this is going to for sure heighten our psychic and intuitive abilities for everyone. And so if you're able to really really set the intention to go within and have clarity, now the messages, they might come to you in a little bit of a confusing way, but just take note anyway. Like observe with Neptune, that can bring in some confusing energy, but just take note and observe what's coming to you, because this can be a time of really harvesting directly from our own inner awareness. Now, I did get, my first card today I got was the Om card. And this card says, this card is calling you for more time in meditation and prayer. Wednesday, full moon, very good time for meditation and prayer. It says, energetically, you are needing some time alone with yourself in your own inner space. Through meditation, you're able to connect more deeply with your higher self and guides. Energetically, this is vital for you right now. So this is a call for us if we've been meaning to, maybe you've been meaning to, like, you know, I would really like to meditate one of those times, or listen to a guided meditation one day, but I just don't have time. Make the time, make the time on Wednesday. It is the perfect day to do it. This Om card can also be about using your voice as well as a means to connect with spirit. So that could come through toning, that could come through chanting, it could come through any use of your voice, mantras, affirmations, singing, whatever works for you, but that can be a way to really get in touch with yourself. I also have romance angels a little bit today. I have the retreat card, which says, you know, it's time to disconnect from the world. Mimi and I were discussing this earlier today too, and she insisted to me that Pisces does need this. We do need to retreat from the world. You know, Pisces is very, 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 very sensitive to the emotions of other people, and we may be feeling more sensitive as well on Wednesday. And it can be hard it can be very hard to be around a lot of people, around a lot of energies, to be in the world, to be in the midst of it. You may need to retreat, and particularly if you want success in your relationships, or you have the opportunity to connect with a romantic partner or something like that on Wednesday, it'd be a good idea to disconnect and really enjoy those energies, to disconnect from the world a little bit. Now, of new beginnings as being new moon events, but I did get the new life card for the full moon. And this is about the birth of new ideas and opportunities. And it's about life renewing itself. So here's what's interesting, like Mimi was saying, Pisces is the 12th sign in the zodiac. Pisces is the ending. So this full moon in Pisces represents the end of, or we could think of it as a completion, like the completion of a circle in our lives. And so many of us may be feeling like, okay, wow, it was pretty simple after all. Like, we've all been on this epic journey, right? We've been on this epic journey throughout the past year or so. And this is like bringing that to a close, where we finally get that sense of like what was actually going on and what the message was in the higher meaning. But because it's a completion, it also means that it's going to be ushering in newness and new themes and new opportunities for those who are ready as soon as it completes itself. So be willing to see what's coming to an end, and be willing to align with the newness that's coming in, and to align with your new life that's waiting for you, whether that be a new life based on just a new vibration, or, as many of the cards have been suggesting, a literal new life coming down for you in the material world. And the other two cards that I have today are Steady Progress and Heart Chakra. I think these cards are married to each other. This is about Spirit's appreciation of our steady progress in working more from the heart. And Pisces is very, very good at that. When it comes to the heart-mind battle that could be manifested at this time during this full moon, you want to choose the heart. You want to choose the heart on Wednesday. That is the realm of Pisces. And even if you slipped up here or there, right, you want to continue to know that you can make progress, and we are making progress in living more from the heart. And we should stay focused on that goal to live more from the heart as we move through this full moon on Wednesday.
Awesome. Good work, Pisces moon. Brought it. You definitely brought it. All right, so we're finishing up this week with the moon moving into Aries. So this moon moving into Aries, we're not going to go into these other transits, but the moon is going to bring in, well, kind of, because it's going to shift, but Mercury is going to be finishing up Leo and moving into Virgo at the tail end of moon in Aries. It's actually going to move in once it moves into Taurus, but still, it's finishing up. It's finishing up this energy. And I have very interesting cards. I had to actually pull more cards to go with it, because I'm like, what's happening here? So I'm going to start actually with my Wisdom of the Hidden Realms card. And I have the Spiritual Union card, Partnership, Romance.
What? You guys, this week. It's happening.
Yeah. And it's funny because Maya was talking about the completion of a cycle. Yes, Pisces does complete a cycle. Well, I've got some interesting cards, including completion in reverse. And what I have, it's like, yes, this circle completed, but there's still more. I have, this is the King of Cups, the King of Water. So my feeling is young energy, the masculine energy, whether you are male, female, or whatever you consider yourself to be on the spectrum, wherever you are, the masculine young energy is getting some healing. Young, I mean, Aries is very young, is getting some healing through this energy. And it definitely may be positively impacting sacred unions, sacred partnerships, divine partnerships, your love partnerships, your friend partnerships, whatever partnerships are sacred to you, even potentially work partnerships. But even as we go through this healing, I have the completion card in reverse, I have the morality card in reverse, and I have the participation card in reverse. And so what I'm getting from this is like, there are some things yet still to be completed. So even if this, you know, this thing comes about, whatever this is, this relationship comes about, there is still work to be done. And speaking of there's still work to be done, I do have the New Vision card, which this is the Hangman card in traditional tarot. So it's like, there's still work to be done. You know, it's like this cycle's ending, and yet here comes more work. And it's the everlasting spiral, always spiraling, always spiraling, always spiraling. But what I want to go with this, like, emphasize the positive. Healing is happening. Healing is happening even as we're moving forward in and through this. Even though these things are not yet complete, even though there's still patience, waiting game, energy going on in and through this, even though the final piece has yet to be put in, Trust how this is moving forward. And I love the goddess cards that I have. Again, I had to pull helpful cards. So I have Artemis, the guardian. You and your loved ones are safe and spiritually protected. I looked at the additional meanings. Your future is safe and protected. And I was like, well, give me another one. And I have Sedna, infinite supply. You are supplied for your today and all your tomorrows. To me, it's like, don't worry. You're safe. You are being protected. You are safe. Everything that you hold dear is being protected, even though there is still these things that are unfolding, even though this process is still ongoing, even though we're still cycling in the spiral of things. Focus on the healing. Focus on the healing of the yang. Focus on the healing of the masculine and how the masculine is showing up in the world. Because I believe that this yang energy, I believe part of this is like moving forward with heart now. And look there, look at the picture. Look it, we're moving forward with heart now. We've had all of these lessons from the eclipse and this full moon this week and, you know, all this stuff, the Mercury, the Mars, the Uranus, and here we are beginning this new cycle, but with heart. We are taking heart with us. So remember that in and through that. And like I said, I kept pulling cards because I was like, help me out with this. What's really happening? What's really happening? And I got the web weaver, synchronicity, divine intelligence. And it's a 4 cards. It's a foundational card. Watch for the synchronicities. Look for the magic. Look for those sparks. Look for those places where it's like, don't worry, I got you. Look for the feathers. Look for the feathers. Look for the crystals. Look for the kind word from a friend. Look for those words that are like, that echo what your mind have been saying and somebody suddenly says it to you like, oh, don't worry, it's working out. And you're like, that's a divine wink. That's spirit talking to you, helping you continue moving forward with heart. That is the key to me in and through this energy. But I think this is key too. I do think that it does come on a relationship level, whatever that may be for you. Maya?
Sacred union. Okay. Just saying. Okay, well, I have some very interesting cards as well. I think this is good. Like, we're starting a new cycle. It's always good. It's always good. You know that there really is no such thing as completion in this reality. As long as we're here, we are still growing. Some people will say to me, Maya, you know what? I have completed all of my own healing and I am just waiting on someone else now to complete their own healing. Well, that's highly unlikely. Like, we are here because actually when we complete our lessons, we actually die. Like if you were to complete your lessons, in your physical body for this lifetime, there'd be nothing left to do and you would probably die. So anyway, like of course we have more to do, but know that we just completed like the cycle that we just went through and we can celebrate that. This card will not quit. Like this card will not quit. I got the keep your dreams alive card again. Keep your dreams alive. The childhood, okay, North Node is in Leo. That's getting in touch with our childhood dreams and actually manifesting those into reality. Many of us, all of us in our own way, are meant to accomplish that in the next 2 years, okay? The actual manifestation of our childhood dreams. Keep your dreams alive, okay? But we don't have to do it in the old masculine way, like Maya was talking, or like Mimi was talking about, like where we just like go and we just try to like push and destroy the opposition to make our dreams come alive. No, the new way is we incorporate our vulnerability. This is the vulnerability card. Like we're able to show our vulnerabilities and still ask for the manifestation of our dreams and to be vulnerable and to be powerful at the same time. So that is coming in with our moon into Aries. I did get the You Deserve Love card. Look at this person, like an archer. You deserve love. If you have any question whether or not you are lovable, know that you are, okay? This is a lesson for us with moon into Aries. And then I got like some really interesting cards, the energy work card here, okay? I got the energy work card and stuck to it was have confidence. The have confidence card. This is like have confidence in your healing. Have confidence in the healing that you've done and in your ability to heal yourself going forward. You learned how to do that. Now have confidence in your ability to do it. This could also mean for some people who are healers, who are questioning their abilities and haven't quite stepped fully into their abilities yet or are afraid. This is have confidence in your abilities. Have confidence in your spiritual power. Be willing to, now that we're in this new cycle, to move forward in your healing abilities, in your energy work, okay? So we're kind of going to the next level. And then I have as well the Treasure Island card. I like this card a lot. I think it's kind of funny. Like it basically, because it basically says like, listen, like what's around you right now, they are all treasures. Like all the things are treasures, even if you don't see them that way. Okay. So know that sometimes the treasures, they can come in strange packages. You know what I mean? The Spirit gives us treasures. Sometimes they're challenges or difficult people or difficult circumstances, but they're treasures because they help us to grow into our divine destiny. Yay. See that? So anyway, Treasure Island, focus on the things that are in your life, this next wave, these next set of lessons as treasures for your growth. And know that this is a time of expansion. I have the expansion card. And when I combine that with the sort of have confidence in the energy work card, to me, this says like, okay, it's time. For many people, it's time. You know, maybe you haven't started your mission yet publicly, or your healing work, or you haven't yet told your friends and family about your spiritual beliefs, right? Or your gifts and abilities. This is a time for expansion. It's a time for taking what we've learned, taking what we've known about who we are and about our dreams, and expanding it outward. This is literally about like reaching more groups of people. And it's about expanding, you know, our reach in the physical world. So I think for some of us, we're going to start to feel that call to do this, and we should be confident in who we are and what we know and what we've learned. That's the sort of graduation for us into this next cycle.
Beautiful. Awesome. I love this week's GPS. This felt like a very powerful GPS with really beautiful wisdom. Speaking of unveiling a mission, so I'm really funny. I have a lot of Libra in my chart. I actually have like Saturn and Jupiter conjunct in Libra, which is very interesting. And it takes me a long time to make decisions. And I have been mulling this over. And so I welcome your input around this, anybody who's listening and is interested. I have been feeling that I'm going to put out a reading offer for 2018, because we are going to have Saturn shifting signs. We're going to have Uranus shifting signs. We're going to have Chiron shifting signs. And so I was like, wow, these energies, these are so big. Oh, we have Jupiter shifting signs as well, but it does that every year. But, you know, Uranus, Chiron, and Saturn do not shift every year. And so I've been thinking about putting out, okay, we're going to do a reading, show you where these movers and shakers, where they're moving in your chart, and over these next several years, what you're going to be working with. Now, where I can't decide is I can't decide if I'm going to upload it as a video or upload it as an audio just so you can have it. I really like to work person to person, but it kind of can be wearing at the same time. So I haven't decided how I'm doing it, but I'm going to be putting that out after Mercury goes direct this week. It is a plan. It has been mulling around in my head for several weeks. I'm like, do it, Mimi, do it. Just do it. Like, do it. But I haven't decided well. So if you have a preference, I would love to hear from you if you are interested in this reading and if you have a preference. It's always like, well, how am I going to do this and how much is it going to be? And that's where I always end up hung up and don't do things. So please feel free to reach out if you have an idea around this, or if you think like, yes, please do offer this. It may help the Libra and me just get a little shove and move forward into this. Speaking of going into our mission. So I'm taking that to heart. Besides that, you can always book a reading with me, half hour or natal chart, all kinds of readings at GaiaBlooming.com. Maya, do you have anything you would like to share?
I would like to share that. I think that you should offer individual sessions because I would like one. I think it would be amazing. I think it's absolutely invaluable. I have found that like the understanding of astrological transits and configurations to be invaluable on my path. Like literally the information is worth millions of dollars. Like if I was gonna put a price tag on it. So I would definitely encourage people who are feeling stuck and aren't quite sure about their destiny to definitely get a reading with Mimi. I would. You can also contact me anytime at choosefaithnotfear.com. I really love the astrology readings though, so yeah, that's all I have to say. And I just have to say,
yeah, I was just going to say, you're actually very good at astrology. You're very in tune with the astrological transits as well, so.
We'll see about that. But oh my goodness, yeah, just thank you for everybody who's tuning in. As always, we really do appreciate you all caring and taking the time to listen, and your intentions for growth and development within yourself and your desire to serve the world with your vibration. So thank you all for watching, and Yeah, I think we should all just sort of open our arms and welcome in this next phase that's coming in for us. I do think it's going to be lighter, and I think it's going to be, you know, with its own unique challenges. But I think for many of us, we'll feel like we're able to have a little bit more breathing room now. And so I'm excited for that, and I hope everyone else is too.
Beautiful. All right, group hug, open up your arms to this energy. Thank you for joining us. We will be here next week, one of those days next week. Thank you, as always, and namaste.
Namaste.